Hey, what it do, what the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Blue.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal underscore Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely, man. And I am Spike Lou on those same social sites. Easy for me to remember. Holla at your boy.
Listen, slow
Birthday coming up.
motion.
You're turning 50 in a minute, ain't you?
No, sir.
And 50th right around the corner,
My
buddy.
my 29th is around the corner, man. We're getting closer to 30.
And staying at 50, boy. You gotta feel good, man. Live, be old like that. Still out here moving around.
That big 3-0 right around the corner, guys.
It's hilarious.
Shout out to my Packers making
Hilarious.
moves for our sports fans out there.
All y'all off-season winners, man. Eagles did this shit last year. I hope them extra listening too. Oh, the Cowboys get y'all niggas won the offseason last year too. What did that get you? What they get you for winning the offseason last year, nigga? Shout out my Eagles fans out there.
That's when the season is won in the off
Rest in
season.
piss. Rest in piss, Eagles fans. All of y'all.
Oh shit. Hey
Oh,
man. Listen, action-packed episode, some very interesting topics coming up today.
yeah.
We are going to talk about which rapper got lowballed for his halftime performance at an NBA game. We're going to also talk about what's going on with these music industry layoffs and who blames Diddy for the downfall of hip hop.
Hmm.
Interesting. But first, Nelly, your man's, was on the shop, brand new season of the shop. If anybody
Mm-hmm.
tapped into that, pretty good episode. And he said that he competed in the hardest era of music to be successful in. He had to go up against 50, Jay, Wayne, M, Luda, among others. All of them did do numbers. That's
Yeah.
undisputable. But would you say that that was actually the hardest era to come up in, that early 2000s era? Are we sleeping on that?
He said the era of the shop. First of all, where is the shop on now? YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. He said the era to shine in. Is that right? What did he
Yeah, to
say?
kind of beat he said they're all fighting for the number one spot. It was one spot for number one, and there was a lot of people vying for it.
Because all of them were putting in numbers. You're absolutely right about that. But as much as I love our era of music, I think he's wrong about this, man. And the reason that I think that he's wrong about this, because yes, those guys were fighting for the number one spot, but there was a lot more money being spent on those guys to shine. So even if they never made it to number one, they still kind of reaped the benefits of having the high price videos or the features or the albums that they wanted to put together. Like he was in another class. Like if you Nelly, shit, Ja Rule, Jay Z, all of those people there. Now, like, bro, I don't know what you have to do to break through as a male rapper artist, bro. Like, you could be the richest, like Jeezy's whole thing, even when he broke through. And I think this may be a little bit after what he was talking about, but just to give an example, like niggas thought he was rich and ran with BMF, so that was like, oh, it was oddity. We want to see that. I can't really think of the story now today in hip hop for males, especially trying to break through that people are interested in, bro. Like, no one really cares. Like, yeah, Nelly was into, and I talked about this last week when we were talking about why the females are running rap. Like, Nelly was interesting in his own right. Ja was interesting. M was interesting. So those guys broke through, and there was enough attention because there wasn't social media and TikTok and things that you were paying attention to that took you away from music. So there was enough attention for all of them. So while the competition for the top spot may have been harder to break through, to shine, it didn't take as much as it takes now. Like these niggas can have all the bells and whistles now. Like somebody will show you somebody and they'll be like, oh, this got 10 million views and I've never heard of him. Just like, for example, this Faux Bats nigga. Like, I just recently started seeing him when Drake got the feature, but apparently he's been hot for a while. Like, it's hard to break through. Those niggas broke through and were fighting for one spot. But to break through and to get some shine, I feel like it's a lot harder today.
Yeah. So when we discuss who's the number one person out right now, it's between three people. That's it.
Okay.
Back
Okay.
then, we don't reeled off six or seven who, at one point in time, for
Let's
a
be real
6 month
though.
period, could have sat in the throne.
Let's be real though, AB. It was Jay Z or Nas. Like the conversation has always been Jay Z, Nas, and prior to Tupac Biggie. After that, it's a wrap. Like none of them
What?
niggas could have fought for the number one spot. Like no one would have ever regarded Nelly
50?
as the number one act. Nah, because niggas
He
always
was
used
the
to say
hottest nigga in the
niggas would
world.
always say that Jay he can't out rap Jay Z or Nas. Like even when 50 was hot, Jay was still the top nigga from a rap
Skill
standpoint.
wise, yes.
Okay.
Like, but Eminem too, DMX too.
Yeah.
Like all these people were flaming hot. That's all I'm saying. They were on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, because nobody, you're right, nobody was saying Ja Rule was fighting for the number one spot, but he was hot.
Well,
You know what
ludicrous.
I'm saying?
Jesus.
Except
Why
me
that nigga
buying
name
all those
ludicrous?
CDs.
You the only one. You and Shaka Zulu. What nigga say?
But no, it's I will say it was top heavy back then. There was a new hottest person on earth every 6 months from post Pac to about
Mhm.
'04. It was definitely a jungle for the number one
Mhm.
spot. Now, not so much. However, I will say you're saying it's harder now. That's interesting considering how much easier it is to make music now.
And
Like
that's
if
probably why it's
anybody,
harder. Everybody can do it.
that's
So now
true.
the
No, that's
expectation
true.
is so low. Yeah.
But if you have a unique angle, like the Four Bats dude got 3 songs, bro. Literally, he
That's
got
it.
3 records, and this third one got a Drake feature, and now he out of there.
That's
Sold
crazy.
it. So
Is he like an industry plant? Is that the definition of industry plant?
I don't know. He just different. I can't call
Because
him a plant
the
because
visuals.
yeah, he's different. He doesn't look like how he sounds.
Okay.
That will always get attention. When you don't look like how you sound,
Yeah.
off top, you're going to get people to turn their heads. Now, can you hold their attention? Do you sound good? That's another level to it. So that's why I don't know if he's a plant. I can't call him a plant because of that. I
Mhm.
don't know his connections, who he's tied to. I don't know none of that shit. But
Yeah.
I can understand somebody going, where did this dude come from? But we also mentioned a week or two ago about the chick on TikTok with the viral. How many people watched that fucking story that she told about her dude? Like
Lisa
she,
Tisa.
yeah, whatever the fuck her name is. What if she had a book come out or something tomorrow? Like, what if she had something on deck and she kept
Tubi
people's
movie on
attention
deck.
when she had it? And no,
Tubi
it
movie
turned
on
out she
deck.
was actually cold with the fucking, I don't know, nigga, the books or the
Storytelling.
paintings or the whatever the case may be. You just had a viral moment. Dude had a viral moment and has kind of duplicated it. And I got the
Mhm.
attention of Drake and asshole with. So
Mhm.
you could argue that's easier, air quote, than
Mm.
spending $1 million on a music video like niggas was doing in 99 and 2000 because everybody ain't got $1 million to spend on a video. So, or a Timberland beat or a Pharrell beat, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever the case may be. But he has a little bit of a point, even though Nelly was cold by the time Wayne was on fire. Nelly was cold by the time 50 Cent was really hot. And so
Mm.
Nelly got a he counting brass knuckles is no, no, bro, stop that. After dilemma with Kelly, bro, it was a
What
wrap.
year was that? What year was that
That
Nellyville?
probably about '03. Talking about with
Oh
Kelly,
three. Yeah.
man, that probably about
Because that
'03
was
right there.
that was oh 03. So
Oh
he
three, oh
fighting with
four.
Ja Rule, Jay-Z, not even T.I. yet,
Nellyville
right?
was '02.
Oh my God. But I guess he was considered a top artist after Nellyville because Nellyville did 10 million. So he
True,
was still like, from the label standpoint, he was still competing for that position for number one,
true.
even though he didn't live up to it. But I just feel like once you had the track record back then, you got to work your albums and art a little bit more. So that gave you more time to quote unquote shine. Now, man, you got to be quick with it. Like take for example, we talking about Lil Baby being done already. It don't feel like it
True.
was that long ago when the nigga came out, but it's just because we're so used to shit coming out consistently nowadays. And you getting a project every other year. Like Drake's been a monster for doing that. But like people try to write Kendrick. We were writing Kendrick off, and these are top dogs. And I don't think that ever happened in Nelly's era that he's talking about. Like you had a while to move around and actually get your shine on.
Yeah,
Now it's like, man, you better hurry up, bro. Like, yeah, you got 2 minutes, my nigga. Like this four bats nigga on the clock already. Like you
of
said,
course.
he got three songs, one with a Drake feature. It's up. Like
Yeah.
it has to be up now. Like now I'm expecting the influx of videos and the random ass podcast interviews with motherfuckers we've never heard of. Like I'm expecting all of that now. He's on the clock. You weren't on the clock. Like you just said, Nelly sold 10 million and really never reached those stats again. However, after that, for a long time, he was still considered he wasn't hot, I wouldn't say,
Right.
but he
He
was
had
still considered a
sweatsuit and
top
shit like
act.
that.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
sweat
yeah.
and suit. That was mildly anticipated by
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
And he put out artists behind him. Like you ain't getting that runway nowadays. Like that again, I'm harping on shining, like that shining era where I can put on the Saint Lunatics, or I can introduce D12 to you, and I can have Cadillac Ty and whatever the other nigga name was. Like all of that is shining, in my opinion, and it was easier to do because there was a lot more money around and a lot more attention that people had to spare. Now niggas ain't even got no attention to spare. Everybody got a side hustle or something like going on social media, or they making content. So then you got to hold people attention for a lot longer. So the shining part of it, I don't think like I think that he's wrong here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There are definitely everybody's vying for your attention. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta stay, you gotta do something. Like, here's the thing. You know the formula. Like, you know you have to do something to stand out. Like, if I would have known Buddy, like say I knew four bats, I went to school with the
Mm-hmm.
nigga, or whatever, I work with him, and he was like,
Right.
bro, I'm thinking about coming out, like, and I heard how he sound. I'd be like, yo, you need this, but I would be like, yo, with that look and how you sound, you might break through, bro. Like, real talk.
Mm.
Cause he looks like he rap. He got the goals and shit.
Like
Like, he
Chief
looks,
Keef. It
that's what,
reminds you of Chief Keef. If you from
exactly. He
an
got the
era, yeah.
he did the little on the block freestyle looking shit. No one expected them to sound like it. So that has a virality potential in it. And so if you
Mm-hmm.
know that, you know to go for that. That's how you, but then again, that's how you get Takashi's. He knew that too. That's why he colored his hair that way. That's why he got the rainbow grill. That's why he was doing, because he knew attention. That's all you need is get
And
a
look
people.
what that cost him though. Look what that shit cost him.
That's true.
Like knowing that I got to do all of this and act this way, and that shit cost him his life damn near. I'm on the stand testifying against real deal murderers now because I was out here like, you know what I'm saying, trying to stay hot. I'm
Yeah,
trying to stay relevant, trying to get my shine on. And it shit cost him his life damn well. I could cost him his life.
for sure.
So
Are you right?
um yeah, man, shout out Faux Bad stuff. Like do you like the stuff?
That's cool.
Like so?
Yeah, it's cool. I
Like
can
Drake
see
feat?
him. I can see the collab. I did listen to the collab with Drake. That was cool. I wasn't mad at
Mhm.
that. I
Mhm.
can see them doing something with
Remind
that.
me. It reminded me a little bit of Life when we first discovered Life Jennings.
That caught my
Yeah.
attention. I never forget first time
Yeah.
I saw Life
I
Jennings,
never
bro.
forget the R&B nigga on Midnight Soul that had a song about robbing niggas.
Exactly. Never forget that
Forever
shit.
imprinted in your brain, man.
It woke
Forever
me up out my
imprinted in your
sleep.
brain.
I be
I be
robbing it. I'm like,
robbing
wait, what?
these niggas.
I'm like, what is that?
Y'all, if y'all don't know what we talking about, man, go check out Life Jennings' first album, his first single, bro.
Ain't no banging to that album,
And it
banging
was
on the
bang.
low.
Album was bang. What is it? Life in 14, so Life in
Nah, it was
something.
like his little number, like his little jail number or
Yeah, the
whatever.
jail number. That shit
Whatever the
bang,
fuck.
nigga. All right, man. Next, we have Congress. They're proposing a bill to increase artist payout to at least 1 cent a stream. This bill was proposed by, I think, give me 1 second here. It was proposed by a Congressman Rashida Tlaib from Michigan. She's a Democrat. She said in the statement about the bill she co-introduced, it's only right that people who create the music we love get their fair share so that they can thrive and not just survive. AB, is this a big deal, little deal, or no deal?
Man, this is gonna be a big deal. One, because I know a penny sounds crazy. It's like, nigga, that's
Mm-hmm.
it. But right now they get a fraction of a penny. So
A
a penny
third.
would be like a 300% increase. It would be
Yeah.
like a wild ass increase.
Right now they get
Um,
0.003 per stream, and that
there you
varies
go.
per site, but it at least has to be that.
Let's put it this way. If you bought into Dogecoin at 0.003 and that motherfucker went up to a penny, nigga, you turned
Might
up,
kill it.
nigga. You are
Might kill
hype as fuck.
it. Yeah.
I'll say this. It's interesting, but I'm not even gonna say from an artist perspective. I'm gonna say it's interesting. It's a big deal from a consumer perspective.
Mm.
Apparently, this will increase your subscription price
Mm.
anywhere between an extra $4 to $10,
Wow.
allegedly. Um,
Wow.
So
Cancel my
that
service.
now it said it would establish a royalty cap for tracks that generate at least 1 million streams per month, with royalties generated by the tracks beyond that number to be divided among all artists. So uh, I find it hard to believe, and maybe I'm missing something, that
Mm-hmm.
the only way for them to keep my price at $9.99 is to only pay the artist 0.00003. Am I missing something, dude? If it goes up to a penny, it's gonna double my bill, bro. Like, I don't, is that necessary? How many
You said
people
it was a
work at
large
Spotify,
increase though,
bro?
right? You said it was a large increase though.
No, it is, that is a big increase for sure. It
Okay.
is. I would just love to know how it splits, how the revenue pie is split up, what goes where, because that would
Okay.
help me understand clearly. Because if all that means is that the CEO of Spotify gets a new yacht, you know what I'm saying? Instead of a 500-foot yacht or whatever, now he only gets a 350-foot yacht. Then, like, come on, bro, like, that's
How
stupid.
much how much are you willing to pay for your music streaming service per month? What's the limit where you like, nah, fuck this?
Shit, we at the mercy, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Right here. You pay like $20 a month for
I
a
would,
streaming service for music.
I
That's
would.
crazy.
Cause I gotta listen to the music, bro. Like, I can't not listen to music. I'm not gonna go buy CDs. I don't have a CD
Mhm.
player in my car. Like, I'm not even
Well, you
gonna
can
do
buy
that
the
shit.
stuff
I gotta
that you
stream
want.
some.
You can buy the stuff that you want from iTunes, right? 9.99
Yeah,
here,
you can for sure.
8.99. But that's gonna be more than the 20. Would you? So I guess it boils down to, are you buying more than two projects per month, and how much do you listen to old stuff? But I
I
would
get,
seriously consider canceling my shit for $20 a month. I ain't gonna hold you.
nah, I just cut something else if it was like that.
Mm, mm.
I got
Here's
probably
some.
5 streaming services going on right now. I don't forgot about, dude.
That's
I
a fact.
I cut one of
Apple,
them.
Apple needs to be investigated, bro. Like the amount of mornings I wake up to Apple 399 charges, bro. Like they Apple is on shice. Now that you mentioned that, bro, that shit is insane, nigga. You don't even know what half that shit is. Some numbers to what you said. One of the world's largest music streaming platforms, Spotify,
Yeah.
has more than 574 million monthly active users globally,
Woo.
and pays music rights shareholders royalties for the recording and publishing of the music. Spotify said they paid out $40 billion, which was an all-time high last year, to the music industry.
Wow.
So if it goes up, we're talking about even more than that. And that's at 0.3 per stream. Some other numbers that I thought were interesting before I get into my take. She said musicians receive an average royalty of 0.003 per stream, which is way less than a penny.
Yeah.
At that rate, she said artists would need more than 800,000 monthly streams to make the equivalent of a $15 an hour job.
Mm.
800,000 streams monthly to make the equivalent of a $15 per hour job. And to put that in perspective, I was just looking at Don Tripp today. This is not to shit on him. This is just to give you an example. He averages about 4,500 streams monthly. An
Mm.
artist like Don Tripp.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It
So yeah,
is.
this could be a very big deal. Those numbers were mind blowing to me as far as how much you have to actually earn a living, and we see why niggas don't want to rap no more. Really, we
Yeah.
see why brand deals and 360s are a lot more popular, because if everybody's streaming, like you said, you got to have somewhere to stream the music, and this is what I'm getting paid from it. I got to figure something else out if I'm an entrepreneur and really trying to make some money. So yeah, I don't know if this will pass, if there's enough money behind it to be lobbied to pass, but it will be a very big deal. Like you said, even for the consumer, when it comes down to us, and 9.99 a month versus 20.99 a month is a big deal.
Yeah, no,
And
it's a
people
huge
are going to
deal.
consider, hey, I'm cutting that off. So this is a very interesting story. The numbers are staggering to me.
I will say it's going to, and we're gonna get to someone who's doing alternative things in a second, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to come to a point where, because I basically the music is free, bro. That you just gave them
Yeah.
numbers and the minimum wage. They're putting music on there for free.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a mixtape now, essentially, because you're not making none off the streams. You're gonna have to eat off the shows, bro. Which is how niggas was doing back in the day. They try to get themselves hot by giving away mixtapes and hoping that it caught on. So then you could get the club appearances and XYZ and blah blah blah. That's
Took
all
the
they're doing
Chitlin
now. But the
tour
music is
together.
free, and the middleman, which is Apple Music, Spotify, all of them, they came up with a way to eat off of that shit. But they leveraged it to where everybody uses it, so you have to be on that platform. You can't not be on it, or at least theoretically, we got somebody that's maybe trying to buck the system a little bit, but it's just kind of they pivoted, bro. People stopped buying CDs, nigga. The industry, whoever came up with the streaming shit, hey, dude, they figured it out. They cracked the code, dude. Like, I don't
So
know.
whoever came up with that, that's why they rich. Like you
Exactly.
said.
That's why they
Like that
them,
clip.
whoever that is.
Like it's like a clip. I think you may have shared it with me about the dude Marty Woodward, the content creator guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? He was like, he's at this advertising party, and this lady was like, "Well, we're wealthy because we figured out how to tell a story in 30 seconds. You can be rich if you can help us tell those stories in 30 seconds, but if you want to be wealthy, help us tell those stories in 5 seconds."
Yeah.
Because that's what the world is turning to, and it goes to like what you said. People that figure out those ideas, that's why they got all that money.
Yeah. That nigga said,
Yeah,
she said, yo, you want to be wealthy? Figure out how to tell it in
tell it in
5 seconds
five.
and sell it back to us. That's how you get
Because I can tell it in 30, and I've made a lot of money doing that. But if you can do it in five, holler at me, bro. You can be right here where I'm at. That shit was fire.
Yeah, facts.
That shit was
Um,
fire.
Speaking of bucking the system, man, Kanye, the Vultures 2, when him and Ty Dolla $ign was supposed to drop Friday, everybody in the world knew it wasn't happening. Shout out to the blog sites that still reported that it was dropping. Y'all know damn well that wasn't gonna happen. Kanye has been posting texts and messages and things of that nature about possibly selling Vultures 2 on his own independent platform for $20, basically regurgitating what many people have been complaining about the streaming sites. Do you think this is a smart or dumb move for Kanye to sell his album independent of the streaming sites for $20?
Oh, it's smart in theory, but it's dumb in the sense of I'm Kanye West and I should be able to figure this shit out without having to do this. I'm not sure how much traffic he can generate on his own site selling them two for 20, or even how the formatting goes. Like, do it go to your Apple Music, or how do you get the actual digital file once you pay for it? I
Yeah,
think that's one of the bigger dilemmas, and you just spoke to it. Like, everybody's on one of these DSPs, one of these streaming platforms, so it benefits you to have your stuff there. Now, like, people who are trying to obstruct the system, more power to you, Nipsey Hussle, Kanye West, whoever. But how do you do it though? Like, actually, it actually playing out is something totally different. And big commends to Kanye. Like, even with the Vultures one shit, like,
yeah,
he was played all different types of games with the DSPs, and they kept taking it down and putting it up, but he was still able to have the number one album. So that does speak to the impact that he still has. But now when you're talking about a person leaving Apple Music, leaving YouTube, leaving wherever it may be posted at Spotify, and then I got to go to KanyeWest.com, I got to do some weird code and that, like, people are not doing all of that, bro. Like, I'm not like, you're gonna lose half of the niggas that would have bought it or streamed it or listened to it that you would have gotten credit for by setting up this site, and people just not being active or interested enough to go do it. So in theory, it's a good thing. Maybe if he got more people on to it, or there was a some type of tech involved, it was a lot easier for the consumer to get to, then yeah, it may work, and all of the artists may be able to do it and set it up. But it's just so hard to get to the point where I'm not gonna go to Apple or open Spotify. I'm gonna go to KanyeWest.com and download the music there. Like, that's a difficult feat to ask, man. So I say it's dumb move, man.
that's where the challenge is. That's where you have to have very smart people around you to come up with that, because that's the challenge. Is it an
Yeah,
app? If it's an
yeah. This
app,
is a
can I
tech
then
move.
listen to it on my? Can I import it to my Apple Music library? Is that easy? Can I just do that? So that way I ain't got to jump from your app to Apple Music and back and forth when I want to listen to something. Like, that's the dilemma. And if he can figure that out, it's a genius move. And he will not be the only person to do it. How many times we talked about on here? I remember when Beyonce dropped her shit out the blue when we were doing the show. And we were like,
Mhm.
man, are we sure she needs a record label? Like, dude, like, what if she just had an app with all her shit on it, bro? And nigga,
Right.
somebody just paid $5 a month. Like,
Mm.
and then like that's where all the new shit would drop. You know how many motherfuckers will pay
Mm.
that? People pay $5, $10 a month for streaming sites they haven't watched in like 2 years, bro. Like, it's like
Mm.
gym memberships. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
People
facts.
paying $20 for gym memberships they ain't been to, they ain't seen in hellas. It's no different.
Facts.
So if you can get it to a price where I'm speaking to an app, if you can get it to a price where it's an app, it's $5, $10, whatever the case. It's something that people, the general public, can afford to overlook. Man,
Mm.
dude, you're going to, and you drop you drop an album, but then here and there, you drop a video, you drop a song, you drop a feature, you drop another version of a song. Man, that's enough, bro. Like you can pull that off, and people will follow. Like
Mm.
he's one of them artists. They just announced he's now the first rapper to have a #1 song in 3 decades,
Right.
2000s, 2010s, 2020s. I'm on
Mm.
record saying he's the only rapper to have a classic in each decade. But
What's
that
wrong? But go ahead.
motherfuckers don't want to listen to me when I say that though. But
What's wrong?
we'll go with the
You
numbers.
don't
We'll go
got
with the number
you.
one song each
What do you?
decade.
What is the last classic that you calling?
Donda, what are we talking about?
And then the second one was My Beautiful Dark
We
Twisted
can
Fantasy.
pick a few in the 2010s, but
And
no,
then
but
the
My
first
Beautiful Dark
one.
Twisted Fantasy, and he
And
got
what was
three
the
in the
first one?
2000s at
What was
minimum.
the first one you saying is a classic?
College Dropout. You can go College Dropout. You can go Watch the Throne. That was '09.
Wow, stop it. Now you getting
What you want to do?
ridiculous. You're getting ridiculous
What you
now.
want to do? No one else
uh
can say it.
the app is a smart idea. But okay, so what makes me leave and that would be the thing. Like you said, you could drop videos, you could put exclusive music there. But I think there has to be some community built around it. Like there has to be some
Absolutely.
type of Twitter type space where people can comment and talk, and something that's going to keep you there on the app versus, like you said, it's going to be an inconvenience if I got to open this up just to play the music. But if there's other stuff there, then it becomes more useful to me. So how useful can I become to my fans? That is a good idea. If I was someone like a Beyonce or a Kanye West
Or
or
Taylor.
a fucking Drake or Taylor Swift or a Bad Bunny, like I would
Yo,
try that. I have the Bad Bunny app. Come get all your Bad Bunny shit over here. I might not even post on Instagram. Like everything coming here.
bingo.
So yeah, I mean, but that'll really disrupt the industry. It'll take what, and a good app for them. It ain't that's $100,000,
What I'm
$200,000. That
saying.
ain't much. Yeah, if I'm
Hey,
Beyonce, I would test that out if I was Beyonce. If I had a good, but you need a good tech team too. You need like a really good
you
tech
need a
team on there
superb
because
tech
now,
team.
yeah, now it ain't music no more that you're selling. You're now in the technical. You're in the tech world now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be that's all right. I'd like to see somebody try that.
For the record, if that
All
vote,
right,
I'm not mad at him for going this route with the album, though. I'm telling you, you know how pissed you would be if you did all that work for them streams. You're basically getting nothing for that shit. That's basically just promotion. That
well,
shit
you've
is
accepted
annoying.
that now though. It's like you said with mixtapes though. Like you've accepted that, right?
No,
Like
no,
if you're an
nobody's really
artist, you've
accepted it.
accepted that, bro.
No, they did it because they had to, and there was no other way, or at least they didn't think there was another way.
So they've accepted it. Like they ain't doing nothing about it. Jay tried to help them niggas do something about it, and nobody budged. We didn't even care it. At least I did, and a lot of artists didn't seem to care either. Just looked like rich people wanting more money. But like, I think one of the thing they have the power to do something about it if they really like the shit that Kanye talk about. A lot of shit is crazy and insane. But when we're talking, I won't use Kanye. I'll use Nipsey when you're talking about like independence and I'm gonna go sell my CD for $100 and I'm gonna sell a package for 1,000 and this is just a promo for the shirts, like the thought process that he had, if a lot more artists had that thought process to do it, then yeah, it would be impactful and you probably would have to do some negotiating and figure out how you're gonna do this and keep the price like we pay monthly as we were talking about earlier. But I don't think enough artists got enough nuts to do that. Like they ain't finna do that, bro. They ain't finna.
Not even just nuts though. You gotta
What's that?
have you gotta have a very forward thinking mind. Like you gotta read a
Facts.
lot or have a
Facts.
team
I'm
around you
open
that
to that.
somebody reading
You
a
got to be
lot,
more than an
somebody's
artist. Facts.
innovative. You know what I mean? Like coming up with a hot 16 ain't enough for them type of
Facts.
thoughts.
That's a good point.
That's a different
Yeah,
train of
because
thought, bro.
like now,
Everybody
because
ain't
you
got
talk
that.
about Nipsey and Kanye and
Facts.
those niggas is different.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
different.
so
They're the
that's a good point.
exception.
Yeah,
So I can't.
and most
Everybody ain't
artists are
moving like
just
that.
most artists are just artists.
For the most
I
part,
just want
yeah,
to put the music out. So that's why the streaming service is able to get over on them. Like we know y'all
yeah,
not going to do this work.
yeah.
Damn. All right, what we got next?
It's on you.
It's on me. All right, next man, your man Tank. I believe it was on his podcast, R&B Money.
Yep.
He got a tour coming from that too, man. I heard that's pretty good. You ever listen?
I haven't, but shout out to him though. I like
Yeah.
that he picked the lane and stuck to it. R&B hot right now. Perfect timing.
Facts. And it be some dope clips coming from it. I need to check that out at some point.
Yeah.
But Tank says that Fabulous is the best R&B feature rapper of all time. AB, is that
Ooh.
fact or fiction?
I ain't gonna lie. I think this is unanimously fact. It's gotta be.
What?
I think the debate is the second, third, and fourth. Like who else on the Mount Rushmore? That's the debate. This nigga's etched in stone, nigga. The first face on that motherfucker. Easy. Fab got that. That he was known for
Mm.
that. Like that's what he kind of caught some flack for. Like niggas was like, man, you making all the girly shit. I mean, he did his own shit, but I'm saying you call him, he's never let you down on it. We got Superwoman. He got a gang of shit. The Tamia joint, he got a gang of shit that he is the go-to for that. He's perfect for that.
Mm.
Now, the question is who's number two? That's where it gets tricky. Who you got a different number one?
Yes.
Who?
Different number one. LL.
Nah, but that's
Come
no, that's his
on,
own
bro.
shit
Like
though. That's his own shit. We're
the
talking
Hey
about
Lover, that ain't his shit.
yes, it is. That's his
LL.
song.
Hey, that ain't a Boyz II Men song.
Nah. That's his song.
Um,
I need
so
love, all
okay,
that
you
shit.
saying
That's his
features.
shit.
Okay. Okay. So if you're saying if an R&B chick going to grab
A rap
the
feature.
rap nigga,
That's him. That's
okay. See,
Fab.
I was thinking who did it better. I think LL does it better. I will say that. And what I would cite is who has the bigger songs. Like Fab got a lot of little joints that you sprinkling in that niggas don't even remember. Or then like LL got like generational shit. Like Hey Lover,
Yeah,
still
that's of
today.
course.
I Need Love.
I don't.
What's
I'm not
it? Doing
disagreeing with
it,
none of that.
doing it, and doing it well. Like so, LL was the nigga that I thought of, and my number two, or like to round out this list right here. Nigga sleep on Big.
He was cold with that. He was
Big
cold
was
with that.
cold with it. Like it was really unexpected. Big was cold with it. Pac was all right with it too.
Yeah,
As far as the John B joints and the stuff that he would do. So, but Pac didn't have enough of it though.
bro.
Yeah,
Fab,
LL and Fab for me. It's LL and Fab.
LL. If we're talking their own singles for the radio, then yes, we're talking LL. I'm talking Trey Songz has a song called "Say Ah," and he needs to get a rapper on here, nigga. You're calling Fabulous. Jamie Foxx got a song called "She Got Her Own." You're calling Fabulous. Dream got a song called "Throw It in the Bag." You're calling Fabulous, dude. That's
That's
what I'm
fair.
talking
That's
about.
fair. I give you that. I give
He
you that.
got that
Yeah.
on Click Clack. Now
Yeah, I definitely receive that.
number
Who is
two,
it? Like, uh,
probably I have probably Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is cold at that too.
yeah, he had a good run at doing it.
He had a real good run. He had a real he of
Uh,
course the most famous one is Lloyd. You 5'2", you fine two and all that. He killed that. But you got like Destiny's Child Soldier. He killed that. Like Wayne has a he when he was on his
Wayne, yeah.
feature crazy shit, he got the Carrie Hilson turning me on. Like he killed that shit. Wayne is cold at that. He not
I
on
can't
Fab
think of
level,
him.
but he cold.
What's the number one song you got for that? Like the number one R&B feature song.
Probably Jay and probably Maya and Jay.
Best of you.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a
J.
good one.
Cole too. He on Rihanna Umbrella. Like you can call Jay. It
Yeah,
don't happen
Maya,
often
best of
no more.
you. A lot of R. Kelly shit
A lot of
that
R.
he
Kelly,
on, man.
exactly.
he tried to
For
he tried
better
to
or
hide them
worse.
in the votes. Jada, yeah, for better or worse. Jada don't got a lot of them, but he got like I feel like a top five one with that Usher. That
Yeah, he killed that.
on that
Yeah.
Confessions.
On that
I feel
confessions.
like
Yeah, yeah, he killed
I
that.
feel like that's a top five like R&B feature song.
I ain't
Yeah,
mad at
Fab
that.
got that. If you're saying that, yeah, Fab got that. Fab, Wayne, Jay. What about your man Ja?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. J
Hmm.
Lo. But so, a lot of shit was his own though. It's
Yeah, a
hard
lot
to
of that was.
separate who called him and who he called.
Hmm.
That's the only thing. That's where it get a little tricky. He was in his LL shit.
What sleeper is like the LL shit on the sleeper. Well, like LL, who you wouldn't suspect is Ross. Ross got a lot of his own ones like that where you ain't expect him to be so
That's
smooth
fair.
or R&B ish, like that Dice Pineapples, that Aston Martin
True.
music.
True.
Yeah,
He got
yeah,
that.
okay.
Mace. Mace was on the feature shit
Mace
too.
is a good one. Mace is definitely a good one.
For he had a short run
I
before he
still
went
bang
to
at Mason Total.
before he
That
turned to
Mason
the
Total was
church. But
bang.
yeah, he
What about Puff?
yeah, but Puff don't be writing his own shit. And but
He be
he do his
ripping it
own
though.
shit.
You go back and listen to that I Need a Girl. Like he might didn't
Yeah.
write that motherfucker, but he put that Puff on that. Like, dude, the little dance and shit. That was that one.
Nah, he both of them slap. I ain't even
Man,
gonna
he
lie. They
bodied
were both
both of them,
bang.
nigga. Ooh. And the other shit that he did, but that was his own shit. What he did with them two chicks. I can't even remember the name of it.
Oh, Dirty
But
Money.
last night, do
Yeah.
you wanna answer? That
That
was
shit would have
like,
sounded so much better if somebody that was more vocally
that can really
talented.
rap.
I
I would have.
promise
Oh,
you.
you talking about the chicks?
No,
You think
no,
they can
Keisha
sing?
Cole and
Oh,
them
just
killed that
Puff.
shit, and Dirty
Oh,
Money
okay.
killed that. He blew it last night, bro. Like, come
You
on.
know, that was
No,
banging,
bro.
though. That was banging, man. It's crazy y'all that Puff shit finna get up out of here, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. Y'all ain't gonna be able to listen to that because I'm gonna be banging it, nigga. Like I still bang R. Kelly. It's crazy.
we
Niggas
got
gonna stop listening to them hits.
we got some
Oh
Puff news.
shit.
We got somebody that has a very strong opinion about Puff. We're gonna talk about it in a second. But first,
Mm,
Future Hendrix is back. Him and Metro
yes.
Boomin are dropping a project, and they dropped two release dates: March 22nd and April 12th. The album's title is "We Don't Trust You." It's
Mm,
a double album, apparently. They didn't give two
mm,
titles, they just gave one title and two dates. We'll see exactly what that means. Last time Future has pulled something similar. He dropped the double album Future Hendrix. On one Friday was Future, the following Friday was Hendrix. So this is something similar, but a little different at the same time, man. So what are your anticipations for this possible double album from Metro and Future?
Future thought Russell Wilson was coming to Atlanta. He was trying to put some guardrails down, make sure I'm shaking it by the time he get here, but that didn't happen. Shout out to Kirk Cousins, new Falcons quarterback. Um, this is, I mean, I get it. People still excited about it. The Future fans are still like in uproars. I personally didn't think. Again, I always tell people I missed the Future era. Like I wasn't outside no more by the time he was like Future. We was still outside kind of when like Dirty Sprite, well, not even Dirty Sprite. Is it Dirty Sprite too? Is
Yeah.
that what I'm
I
thinking of?
was
Like
outside.
Tony
I don't know where
Montana?
you was at.
You definitely were not. Were not outside when that feud. When that, I'm talking about when he was cooking, like where you had to be like
Yeah,
out
like
to like
astronaut
really get
status
it,
and
get it.
and Dirty
Nah, I'm
Sprite
talking
2
about
and all
after
that.
that, nigga. I'm talking about after that,
Oh.
like the shit with 21 Savage, your ex bitch, and all of that
Oh
shit.
yeah, I
Like
went outside
I'm
when
talking
that
about
came
that
out.
era.
Yeah, no, I was
But
in.
yeah, it seems like that was his strongest, impactful era. Like he was shaking it when what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
But as far as people, like I know people who Future is their favorite rapper. They will argue that he's better than, God forbid, blasphemy, Jay-Z. Like I've heard niggas say that. I've heard niggas say like Future is they GOAT. But I get it because again, when he was that impactful, I wasn't outside or wasn't like participating in Future type of activities. But there were people who were, and those people still look at him and regard him as a very, very, very high ranking artist. So I did see all over social media where people were excited about this. MX was canceling his whole summer,
I
going to
saw.
do like hood rat things with his friends, which is crazy at his age. Praying for that guy in his midlife crisis. But like I get it though. Future still moved the needle, man, which I'm not aware of and didn't know until he dropped something and really shakes it up just like he did with his Meek verse recently. Like he was killing that. So yeah, I'm here for it. I see it. I see the impact that it's made. People still love it. So shout out to Future, man.
Yeah, you gotta understand, Metro is behind some of his biggest hits though. He did
Yes.
Mask Off, Jump Man, and then plus Future has been killing shit as of late. He murdered
Mm-hmm.
that Meek
Killed that
Mill
Meek.
project. And then
Yeah, that's
last year he killed that what was he on? Damn, I just lost it that quick. I forgot what he was featured on last year, but he bodied that shit.
what happened when
Um
you turn 50 in a week.
yeah, exactly. This is what happens. So and then on top of that, Metro has been doing this thing. So he completely laced 21 on his shit this year. Did the Spider-Man soundtrack last year. I know nobody really talk about that, but it was dope too. And so he's been in his bag lately. When those two link up, it's usually magic. So it's exciting to see. I like the kind of ambiguous trailer, two dates, one title. I kind of like that. It's something different. It adds some mystique, some mystery. Ooh, what is this? Is it two albums? Is it some remix? Like what's coming on? What's going on? It gives it some anticipation, some flavor. I like that he's doing this. Again, just trying to keep things interesting in hip hop, putting some thought into the rollouts. He got the Prodigy voiceover on the trailer. You wouldn't have seen that coming necessarily. It was a dope quote. Like I like this, man. And even Metro's album last year or a year before last, the Heroes and Villains had some bangers on that motherfucker too. So it was nominated for a Grammy, Rap Album of the Year. I seen Casa Night was sick. That Killer Mike won over it. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm a probably a on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to Future. I'm probably about a seven,
Mm,
6 when it comes to being a fan. I understand his place, you know what I mean, and I get it. I may not have gotten it at first, but I get it now though. And
yeah.
so yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like somehow he always comes back out and reminds people who
Who the fuck
is the
I am?
OG of this sound that's going on. He's
Facts.
always able to do that. I haven't heard him come back out and go, nah, Roddy Ricch done took this, it's over with. Like I
Facts.
haven't
That's a
heard him
fact.
or Baby done took this, it's a rap. He's always been able to do just enough, whether with his voice, his flow, the sound. He's always been able to move it forward. And so I'm interested to see what he does with it this time. Definitely here for it.
I agree with you about the sound part. It never, except for earlier when he tried to do the R&B shit,
Yeah, that shit wasn't
but
nothing.
it never was like, oh man, he done missed it. So like every time he come out, you be like, okay, this is how they're supposed to sound that
Yep.
everybody else be doing. Oh, okay. See why they
Yep.
doing it now.
Is he
So that
sound
makes
like
sense.
he makes other people sound like the imitator, just remind you, oh, that's where they got the sound from. Okay, cool. As opposed to him trying to keep up with the young niggas that's doing it now. That's but I
Facts.
gotta give it to him.
Yeah, I agree with it. I'm a hidden play when it come out. I'm 100%. All right, next man. Before we get to the wins and losses and our on deck of the week, and put on a couple more quick hits. Your
Ooh.
man's Saigon. Saigon is blaming Diddy for the downfall of hip hop, and he's citing the more money, more problems persona that Puff had and made hip hop all about the money versus everything else. Is this fair or foul?
That's foul.
Mm,
Basically, he's blaming him for the commercialization of hip hop and saying that that is what is causing the quality in everything to decline. Bro, I hate to
mm,
break it to you, but the same way with sports, we look back at some of the contracts niggas made back in the day, they weren't making nothing. Nowadays, shit done blown up. Niggas getting paid crazy left and right. Don't even play. The commercialization of hip hop was going to happen with or without Puff Saigon. I hate to break it to you, and it was going to happen sooner or later. There was too much influence, too much popularity. It's the way that our country and system works. You have enough eyes on something, the money is right behind it. Trust and believe, and it's no different with hip hop. So I understand if you want to be a purist, man, what happened to the game I love type shit. I get it, but I putting it well, number one, putting it all on one person is
mm,
is a stretch. Period. It's always a collective effort. But number two, I can't blame him for the inevitable. It was going to happen anyway. So I think this is foul. It's a reach to put it the whole thing on one person, and you 25 years late with this take.
mm.
Like you just piling
Facts.
on because Puff in the news too.
You took the
Like
words right out of my mouth. It's cool
you've
to
been
pile on Puff right now.
you've been sitting on this take for
Like,
24
bro,
years.
stop
Do
it.
what are you
What are you talking? What are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, the one person thing is what I said because when I read a little bit about this, I'm thinking, okay, well, I remember the big timers and Master P. I remember Jay-Z, like he really made it about the money when he started getting his bag, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, four. Add it all up, and it's at 40 million more. Now add the number, the one I said before. Like all of that is about them being successful in hip hop, and you said it perfectly. Like that's what business is, bro. It was supposed to grow to this. Had it not grown to this, and people that money that people are making now as artists were being made by the label because we weren't aware that we could make these bags on our own by doing TV scores or
mm-hmm.
doing commercials or doing brand marketing deals and all of these things that come with hip hop growing as a culture. You thank Puff for that. You
Yeah.
don't like you don't condemn the nigga for it. Like, nah, like just because Saigon wasn't able to take advantage of it, that don't really like I'm sorry, bro. Actually, he was. He was on Entourage, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He might have been. He might have, but
Yeah, I
everybody was
think
on
he had a
Entourage.
season, but I'm talking about he had like a reoccurring role, like with a plot line
Oh,
and everything.
I can't
And I
remember.
and he should thank Puff for that. If I'm remembering that correctly, I think he was on Entourage, like Turtle was his manager or some shit like that. But my point is, Puff opened the doors for all of that to let people know that hip hop was more than just bars. Nigga, this is a business. We can make money all of these different ways. We can get bling bling in the dictionary. Nigga, like we're gonna shine. We want our just due. Now, that ain't Puff fault that people stopped taking the rap seriously and started focusing on the money more.
Right.
Like you still gotta love this shit. Like everybody can't be, and that's why I was going back to the thing about it being hard to break through. Everybody can't be Puff. Some niggas gotta love rapping, bro. Some niggas gotta be Nas. Like, and it ain't enough niggas that want to be Nas nowadays. And it ain't like he broke. Like, you can still make your money doing what J. Cole does, doing what Nas does, like really getting in your lyrical bag. But most niggas don't love it like they're supposed to, and they chase the money versus being a good MC. And that ain't Puff fault.
Yeah, and Saigon was on Entourage for 4 episodes. He was also in the
Yeah.
movie, and he was on 10 episodes of Love and Hip Hop New York.
Well, I ain't even counting. Well, thank Puff for that.
That's
Even the
what I'm
Love and
saying.
Hip Hop joint. Yeah, even the Love and Hip, because that came from making a band.
There is no love. That's what I'm saying. There is no
Yeah.
love in hip hop without Puff.
Puff should
So
just right there, then you're welcome. I know I'm getting a lot of heat right now, Saigon, but you're welcome,
I
nigga.
know that didn't even hit. Trust me, that didn't hit Puff radar. Let's be
They
very
don't
clear.
even know that
Yeah,
happened.
he don't know that happened. He don't know that
Nigga
happened.
come tell him about that nigga. He goes snap like you come to me about Saigon,
Yeah,
nigga.
he
All
bro,
this shit we got going on, you come to me talking about Saigon.
bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it all on one person. I don't, and you can't only look at one side of the coin, like you just said.
Yeah.
There is no love in hip hop Atlanta without making the band, for better or for worse. I don't think love in hip hop. I don't watch it, but a lot of people do, and it's giving a lot of people jobs in front of the camera and behind the camera. And people have been able to make a lot of money off of it. You know what I'm saying? That may not have otherwise had an outlet to do so. So salute to them, salute to that, salute to it stimulating the economy of hip hop. That's what you can't do that without making a band, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
making a
right.
band existed before Puff, but he made it hot. Nobody gave a shit about the first season of making band. Nobody watched that shit. They called Puff, he made that shit hot. Everybody cared
Facts.
after that. It was cool
Yes.
now. So
I didn't even know it was a season before Puff.
yeah, he did it. The season one was O Town. It was from the dude who found it. I think he created the Backstreet Boys. He was putting another
Mm.
boy band
I
together.
do remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember that. I do remember
That
that.
shit
But
wasn't
hey,
nobody. It didn't do shit. It had to call Puff.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what's funny? I was doing some research on that shit. There were 3 seasons of making the band two with the band. It was 40 episodes, bro. I had no fucking clue.
Wait, that's the one with the rappers,
Yes,
like with Sarah and them.
yes. It was 3 seasons of them.
I'm
40
trying to think. Do I
episodes,
remember
dude.
that?
I had
Dang,
no clue.
thought it was one season,
I did too. But
max
when I
two.
started reading through the season, I was like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Okay, I remember that. So then they started to come back to me. But if you'd have asked me that beforehand, I would have swore that was one season, bro. And but that was it.
Yeah, I would have thought that about one season, max 20 episodes.
That shit fucked me up. But anyway, we got Puff to thank for that. A lot along to go with a lot of other shit too, because Sean John opened the doors up for a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? The fucking the liquor shit opened up a lot of it. Puff, come on, I know he looking wild right now, but like we're not finna just like recreate history, dude. Like we rewrite history. Like, come on, man, relax.
It's easy to point the finger at Puff right now.
Yeah, he the low hanging fruit. All right, man. Before we get to these wins and losses, some very interesting industry news right now. Warner Music Group, Universal Music Group, Billboard, all making layoffs, dude. 10% of staff has been cut from Warner. Hundreds of jobs have been cut from Universal. What do you think this means for fans? Should we as fans be worried when we see this news come across our feeds?
As fans, yeah, I think that this is going to affect us as fans. But what my suspicion would be is that they leaning more towards AI, and a lot of the
Mm.
jobs that some of the people were doing, like they can get computers to do them now, whether it be marketing or social media marketing, or just like coming up with the plans to get a artist hot. I feel like that they think that they can trust AI and technology to do a lot more of that now, especially with all the information that they have. So when you speak to the music industry being in trouble, it's not like what Nas was talking about when he was saying hip hop is dead and niggas need to step their bars up, and you go calling out Nori. Now you're looking at an industry thing. Well, like the money is really being affected. Like people are losing their jobs, and you ask yourself, well, what are those people going to go do now? Are they going to go do more independent type music stuff, or they're going to get out of the industry altogether? And then if they do, where does that leave the music industry for people that like discover artists that are out there in the streets and able to stumble across somebody at an open mic, or because they have a real genuine buzz in their city or where they're from, versus a label depending on, oh, this person has these clicks and they have these things on their social media, so we're going to sign them. Like, how much more will they lean on that, and how much authenticity do you lose in the music business once that starts to happen? And then how much do people start chasing just the streams and shit like this? So I think that there's a a very long line of effects that can start to happen when you see things like this in a mass layoff in industry like that. So yeah, it should be concerning to us as fans, just
Yeah,
because it's going to determine what we get to put our eyes on.
yeah. Just to kind of give some a little bit more context, like for with the Warner, for example, 10% of its staff, which is equal to about 600 people, they own Hip Hop DX, they own Up Rocks. They said that it will the biggest percentage of the layoffs will affect those media properties. They did say that they showed record growth, 11% revenue growth for the quarter ending in December 31st.
Mm.
Their net income was at 193 million versus 124 million the prior year quarter. So they're coming off a strong quarter of revenue. I think they're trying to position themselves for because they're seeing what everybody else is doing. Pitchfork, Sports Illustrated, like we said,
Mm-hmm.
Universal, Billboard. They're kind of following that trend, and I think people are starting to be able to learn to do more with less. Like you don't need 6,000 employees, dude. Like I remember when we talked about earlier how the money was throwing. Listen to Dame and them talk about how money was spent in them late 90s, early 2000s on music, bro.
Yep.
Like nigga, they throwing 1 million at the video. Niggas is in private first class. Niggas is in Rolls, furs. Nigga, the fucking nigga, the water boy nigga getting man, like they just throwing it around like it was never ending. That eventually, of course, came to an end when they learned that you can just hire a nigga to shoot your video for 5 stacks and it's gonna look just the
The
same,
same.
dude. you you don't need red cameras that cost 40 bands a camera, bro. Like you start to adjust. So, in my opinion, I feel like that's what this is. They're adjusting to the times that are coming up ahead. It's probably going to be a rough. It's election year. We all know how that shit get kind of crazy. So the economy may be a little rough, but they're adjusting for that. So instead of having 600 employees, where your assistant had an assistant, I think those days are coming to an end, and they're starting to be a little bit more lean and getting people that can do more than one thing. In my opinion, I don't have any insight on it. That's just kind of how
Mm.
I'm seeing it. If I got a nigga that can write and edit, that's better than having a nigga that write and a nigga that edit. Like I ain't trying to pay two
Well,
niggas,
yeah.
dude.
Or
I'm
if I
gonna
got a
put this in
computer
one
that can
job
do it.
description, and you're gonna be able to narrate the video, write it, and edit it, dude. The same person,
Thanks.
and I'm gonna save 3 salaries, bro. So that's how I'm thinking. That's kind of more what the vibe is.
Yeah. Or if I got a computer program that could do all of it, like
Even hey,
like
listen,
I'm just gonna
you ain't even
plug
gotta
this little
write. Just know how to
marketing
use
thing into Chat
ChatGPT, bro.
GPT. Yeah, let me
Yeah,
just
we got
plug
the
this
pro
in here.
version.
Yeah, here you
So
go, boom.
yep,
Here you go the plan for the marketing. Yeah, so
that's it.
wild times. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, man, just to see where it leads us.
Real quick
Wins
too.
and losses. What's that?
This made me think of this because it made me think of people selling their um people selling their masters and shit, right? So Nelly talked about that on the shop.
Mm-hmm.
His is for 30 years. It's a 30-year lease, essentially. I didn't know that. He said that's what many of them are. So
Yeah,
when
Joe
you see
talked
the
about that on his podcast. He said his is 20.
who did?
Joe, but they turn it over to
Okay.
you after 20 years.
I ain't know that. Yeah. Maybe he might have said 20. It was either 20 or 30. So I thought that was
Mhm.
interesting though. I was like, oh, okay. Shit, that
That
make it
was one
even
of
a
the
better play.
conspiracies. That was one of the conspiracies when they're talking about some the bigger rappers dying. Like people that had real big songs dying, that they were being killed off. Like one of the crackpot conspiracy theories. But so the labels wouldn't have to pay out the royalties like on down the line.
I
So
mean, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
never know.
yeah, they definitely
Um,
get them back after 20 years. They said it's in the standard in most of the contracts.
yeah, that's cold, man.
Mhm.
I,
But you got to make it
that's
through
a
20 years though. Yeah, I think Joe Budden, what's his Pump It Up was in '02. Like that's
203.
just now coming up.
Yeah.
I think how long ago that was, how much you got to survive to like
Hey,
be
but
like, damn.
if you getting wouldn't Nelly get like 50 M's, give or take?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. That
You
shit
can't
finna come up
flip
for him.
that
You
in
just said
20
'02.
years?
Yeah, you just said like '02. That Nelly shit finna come up, right? Like he finna have all of that.
He sold this recently though.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So I mean, it's like a
I would have
retirement
to.
plan, bro. If that shit don't work
Facts.
when you 65, you'll get it. You'll get the shit back and sell it again, bro. Like fuck it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely
Um,
makes sense.
Next up, man, wins and losses. W or L. New podcast alert. Memphis Bleak
Mm-hmm.
has a new podcast
It's a
called
win,
Rock.
man.
What?
Oh, my fault.
It's
I
called,
was finna say, I thought you was done. I thought you just said you left it.
you
My bad.
clearly Lou excited about this Memphis Bleak
Facts, man.
podcast. It's called Rock Solid, man. Is that a win or a loss?
This a win, man. Memphis Bleak a funny nigga. Like all the times he be on Drink Champs and stuff, he be super funny. And I'm sure people love Jay-Z stories, and I'm sure there are a lot of Rockefeller, Rock Nation stories. If this is formatted correctly, if he ain't on there just rambling, like if we can get to some of the good Rockefeller stuff, this will be gold. This made me think too. What happened to the Tony Yayo shit? Did that ever come out?
Yes, yes. He
Did you listen
trying.
to it?
No, absolutely
You
not.
listen to
No.
it.
Um,
Don't sound like it's worth much.
yeah, no, I'm good. I
You
will
ain't fucking with this
say,
Bleak?
yeah, if he can get Jay on there, you had it. You almost had it. The Rockefeller stories, no, nigga. If he can get Jay on there, that's it. Period. If he can get Jay on the show, then people will give a fuck, including myself and you. And if Bleak is good on there with Jay, then I may listen to another one. You get my attention. You do what you can on that episode to hold it, and then I'll come back and check and maybe hit subscribe. That's the W. If it ain't that, I don't want to see it.
Based off how Memphis Bleak explains he and Jay relationship,
That ain't
Jay would
happening.
laugh. Yeah, Jay would laugh at him
You're gonna hang
on
up in his
like on
face
the
and
phone. He would laugh at him like, "Nigga, I ain't coming on your podcast, nigga." But he's not in a bad way. But
yeah, I
it's like
know.
that's the relationship that he was explaining that they had on Drink Champs. So I think Jay would clown him. I don't think he would even ask. He'd be scared to ask because how he get clowned.
Bleak didn't
That's
want to ask for
hilarious.
Beyonce tickets. I seen that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point I'm making. Nigga don't even want to ask for tickets. You know the type of heat you gonna get from Jay. Jay
That nigga
like
Jay
trying to
said,
be
"Oh,
funny too.
I'm the ticket plug now,
I'm the
nigga."
ticket man now. Like you asking me for tickets, nigga. That's funny, dude. Cause like it's so fun. I love Jay Z's sense of humor from what we understand of it, what we get to hear people say about it. Cause even though that's your man's, you
You're
still
right.
Jay Z. What it took for him to ask you that,
Facts.
and still fucking with the nigga being like, I'm the ticket nigga now. Like you can ask nobody else. I ain't had nothing else to do. Me, like that's hilarious right
That
there.
nigga
So
stupid.
he'll receive all hell asking, hey, can you come on the Rock Solid podcast? Like, wait, what? First of all, pause. First of all, pause the whole name.
That's first off.
Oh
Oh
shit.
shit. All right. Next up, man, your man Busta Rhymes had this blockbuster tour ready to kick off. And about 2 or 3 days before the entire tour was going to kick off, he shut the whole thing down, dude. It's a W or L.
Somebody got to get fired for this, bro. Like this reads like he thought that he was popping and people were lying to him, and then he started doing some additional looking at the numbers and the venues and the amount of ticket sales, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not even gonna embarrass myself like this." I ain't saying that Busta Rhymes don't have fans that can't put people in a venue, but a Busta Rhymes tour in 2024, like it is, that's a lot to ask for.
It is.
Especially with everything that we've been talking about with the music business. I don't know if people paying for that. And I'm sure them tickets was high too. I'm
Yeah.
sure that they was high. So this is a loss, man. This is a loss for Busta because he probably got some bad information and thought that he could do a tour, but you can't, bro.
Yeah. This is
Shrink,
his first
shrink those
album.
venues, bro. Shrink those venues.
This is his first album since the pandemic. It was very poorly received. Even Busta Rhymes fans were like, "Bro, what is this?" So to
Mm,
try to tour off of the "What Is This" album, nah, bro.
that's nasty.
Yeah, it's ugly. So the 12 people that bought tickets were all online, like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I was looking forward to this. It's a wrap. It's a W though, because y'all was gonna waste y'all time anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he
Uh,
saved y'all some money.
yeah, exactly. Go do something with that. Go get an LLC.
That's
That's
hilarious.
LLC Twitter, dude.
Tough. Could have bought could have bought your LLC.
You could have bought your LLC.
Got you some merch on what's the merch site everybody used to go to?
Oh,
That's funny, dude.
oh shit. All right, last one, man. The New Orleans Pelicans asked Lil Boosie to perform at their HBCU night halftime. He said their offer was an insult. He said they offered him
Mm.
$1,000 to perform at halftime, and they didn't even give him no courtside seats to go with it. Is this a win or a loss?
Man, this nigga performs for free at the Hawks game 3 nights a week. So like getting 1,000 from the Pelicans should be like you should go on and take that, bro. Like the way that he do that sideline shit for the Hawks, embarrassing himself. Like yeah, like I feel the Pelicans. Like bro, we at least pay you for looking a fool. Like you come do this at our halftime show for the HBCUs, just at least for the look. We know you don't need the little $1,000, but like, bro, like come on. Like now you got standards. Relax.
I'll say this.
Relax, Boosie. This is a loss.
He said the Hawks, when he does their official halftime show, he
Mm-hmm.
said they pay 7,500 to 10 bands, depending on the artist, and they give you courtside seats for that game. So he's looking at it like, y'all offer me a stack, bro. They tried to get the hometown discount, I guess. But like at least give me the seats to go with it, bro. Like don't give me a stack in a custom jersey. The fuck?
So let me ask you this: what's your do you air this out publicly, or do you just go well, just tell me what you just told tell them what you just told me?
You're
If I
Boosie.
were to do this for the Hawks, they would give me 75 to 10 grand and courtside seats. How about we up the price and you give me some courtside seats? Like, why do we gotta know, Lil Bootsy? Just don't do it,
We
bro.
know everything else, bro.
It's
That's
true.
why he's
That's how you make
Boosie.
his money.
We
That's
know
how
his
you make.
daughter's getting cheated on. We know his son is trapping, apparently. We know all this shit because of him, dude. The camera's
That's a
always
fact.
on. This is the
That's a
life that he
fact.
chose. He's embraced since he came home. It's working for him, obviously, I guess.
Can we talk about how much Vlad pay him for those appearances?
Yeah, no, he said it on Breakfast Club, but he was exaggerating though.
What did he say on Breakfast Club?
He said something stupid. He said like a meal or something. He said something crazy. And they talked about that on the show too. They was like, come
Vlad
on,
did
bro. He was like,
on
come on.
Vlad show.
Yeah. They were laughing about
What did
this.
he say?
They were like, hey man, yeah, that ain't it. He was like, nah, I was exaggerating like a motherfucker, but
Oh, that's funny.
he definitely gets paid for the interview. But again, though, at least give me the seats though for me and my kids. Like at
Yeah, I need them
least.
Zion. Yeah, them Zion seats. That's true.
Yeah, you know what I
That's
mean? Because
definitely true.
I at least
Ain't
get the
nobody
Zion
else.
jersey.
Yeah, ain't
Like,
nobody else coming to the Pelicans games. No way. I know they have the courtside seats available, and
God,
ain't
them,
like them shit selling out.
them motherfuckers is empty 60
Right.
games out of the year.
You want to roll, nigga? Bring your friends, nigga. Do you know anybody else that raps? We need a celebrity roll too. Is
Oh,
Webby in
shit.
town? You
They get
think he'll
Webby a
come?
stack for
Webby'll
sure.
take that stack. He'll take that stack and that club seat up in the 200s. Webby definitely taking that stack. No disrespect to him. That club seat, little up to little 200 seat.
With the little
Yeah,
$20 voucher for food.
come on with that. Yeah, free little chicken tenders and shit. Webby taking that. And he gonna put it on IG.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit, he
All
definitely put
right,
that on
man.
IG.
Woo. All right. On Decker of the Week, shout out to Knife Jennings. That's ironic as
That's
fuck.
ironic. Young Knife Jennings. I bet
He
he fuck with that
commented,
Life album. I know
that
he
live out.
fuck
I'm
with
finna
that.
listen to that tonight while you bullshit.
Facts. I'm gonna put that on.
Uh, he said, "Man, fire episode, fellas. It's always good to see Nikki Duce fall through. We agree." He also said,
Mhm.
"I wanted to speak on the Philly rapper curse, and I'm inclined to believe it. The only Philly rapper I can think of that people are not clowning and take seriously is Black Thought from the Roots. That's a fair point.
That is true.
Even though like niggas
Yeah.
ain't clowning like Freeway and like,
But even yeah, it ain't even a clown thing, it's just a curse thing. Because remember, he had that shit that happened with his kids.
oh yeah, that's
Like his
true.
kids passed, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
fighting
yeah, yeah.
diabetes. Then Benny Siegel, like niggas ain't really clown him, but his voice,
Yeah, yeah.
like
It just ain't nobody really standing
yeah,
tall.
like it's
Like,
something with
yeah,
everybody.
that's a good
That's
point.
crazy.
Yeah, that's some slaw.
Damn.
Appreciate that though. Good looking, Knife Jennings. What you got to put on me or put me on? Pause. Put me on. Put
Pause.
on me was
Jesus
nuts.
Christ, pause.
Jesus.
I'm not a big sci-fi guy. We talked about this a little bit before the show started. But I did a review. Shout out to the Frames Per Second podcast. Y'all go check out a live review. It's on YouTube now. On Dune. I went to go see Dune 2, watch Dune 1 Friday, went to go see Dune 2 Saturday midday. And I was thoroughly impressed I ain't no Star Wars dude. Somebody brought it up to me when I was watching it, and they was like talking about how fire it was. It was like, well, what's your favorite sci-fi movie? Like, I couldn't even think of one, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know a sci-fi movie that I like, but I will say that this Dune 2, even if you're not into sci-fi, but you just into movies, like this shit was done really well. Like it's a must-see movie, Dolby surround sound experience that you need to see. Like it was beautiful, the shooting of it, all of that stuff, man. So if you into all of that and not in the sci-fi, you still will like this film. It's a cool story as well. And Dune 2 was fire. And check out the frames per second review on it.
Shout out to Dune. I'm good on Dune for now. Maybe one day I'll get to it. Maybe. But them long ass sci-fi epics that really don't move me like that. But maybe I'll check it out because I've heard good things for sure. I got a book that I'm wrapping up. It's called The First Minute: How to Start Conversations That Get Results. Pretty dope. I got about 20 minutes left on that movie. Oh, wait, hold on. No, wait, I got more than that. I'm on chapter 5. It's 20 minutes left in chapter 5. So I'm about halfway through the book, but it's really dope. Talks about how to condense what it is that you're trying to say, the ask, and how the 3 elements of a question. It's pretty dope, man. So that way you get the best results, man, by being clear and concise. I recommend it for anyone trying to improve their communication, specifically the ask.
You said it's The First Minute?
Yeah, it's called The First Minute. It's pretty dope.
Who wrote
it? It is by Chris Finning.
Okay.
Pretty dope. Check it out. Anybody trying to improve on their communication, like my damn self. Anything else, man, before we get out of here?
No, that's it, man. We appreciate the people for joining us.
Until the next time, guys, youtube.com/OnDeckTV Show. Holla at your boy Animal_Brown. Follow Lou at I am Spike Lou. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.